Hey guys, I've reached another milestone, but as usual, that means I've garnered the attention of a few haters who are jealous of my success, just like everyone who criticizes me in a way I dislike. Now, usually I don't like to give attention to smaller and less significant channels because I don't want to dignify their petty bullying with a response or provide a platform for their tiny, insignificant bigoted channels. But when I got wind that some half-cocked Orson Welles impersonator was talking some mad shit, I got so triggered I was actually trembling.
This is Indro Whitehall.
Yep.
He's a small dog who smokes a pipe. And watching his videos, you're gonna get, at least if you're anything like me, you get a bit confused because you can't tell if he's maybe borderline retarded.
Now, I was too upset and felt too unsafe to continue watching from here, but there's so much wrong with this. Setting aside the fact that by using the R word, he's basically saying, look at me, I hate literally all specially challenged people and I'm a terrible human being, suggesting that I might be almost mentally differently abled is ridiculous. If I was nearly sort of afflicted with the gift of intellectual uniqueness, would I have graduated with a 2.0 from community college with an associate's degree in English? I don't think so. This asshole thinks he's so smart, but he's clearly just jealous that I hit 500,000 subscribers before he did, and he knows it. In this YouTuber's opinion, St. Nicholas should probably go back to the wonderful land of cause and leave the YouTubing to professionals like me. Oh, and on the subject of people who should fuck off back to where they came from because they aren't wanted here, let's talk about all Mexicans.
A satirical parody burlesque performance.
So before we start marginalizing Mexicans for fun, I just want to congratulate Francesca Ramsey for playing an important role in Western socio-political progress by solidifying the death of two majorly problematic social constructs, music and comedy.
Francesca, you can end one of the following forever.
Okay.
You are given the power to end this, but only one of these you can end.
I'm gonna get rid of racism. I'm kind of taking out two birds with one stone. A little thing I like to call intersectionality.
Comedy. Anybody want some comedy? I like that. That's funny. That noise is funny. So we know music television has been about moralistic, dogmatic finger-wagging for a while, but now, finally, Comedy Central is your central location for moralistic, dogmatic finger-wagging. And at the forefront of all of this is...
Wait, what exactly am I wooing?
So, Cinco de Mayo means May 5th in Mexicanish, and it's already come and gone, like a real lot of times, but specifically 2017's Cinco de Mayo has already come and gone. And now that it's Cinco de Ocho, I'm sober enough to talk about it.
Let's debunk 3 common misconceptions about Cinco de Mayo. Misconception number 1. Cinco de Mayo is Mexico's Independence Day. Nope.
To be fair, Cinco de Mayo celebrations are like a cheap Mexican knockoff of 4th of July celebrations, so it's easy to see why people would see it as the Mexican version of the 4th of July. But yeah, in reality, they only defeated the French. Like, that's difficult.
Well, it actually celebrates a smaller incident that occurred decades later, the Mexican army's unlikely victory over the French in the Battle of Puebla in 1862. At the time, this win was a huge deal because the outnumbered Mexicans defeated the French, who at the time had one of the largest, most powerful armies in the world.
True that. It turns out that the battle itself wasn't really a competition of strength and numbers so much as it was a competition over which army was the laziest. Mexican and French people are lazy.
Burlesque performance.
Is it though? Is it really?
It was kind of like the Mexican 300. So in the years following May 5th, 1862, the day was remembered and celebrated by Mexican laborers in the western US as a symbol of pride and heroic resistance against oppression. Not a symbol of bottomless margaritas.
You know, it would mean the world to me if you guys started a whole new temperance movement to fight appropriation and rape culture. Please just regress to the point where your views are nearly identical to an old white Virginian minister in the 18th century. I need this. Anywho, actual history belongs in books, schools, and 10-minute YouTube videos that help you pass a test without actually comprehending the full scope of critical events in humanity's past that played pivotal roles in shaping the world into what it is today. Fucking boring. At the end of the day, holidays aren't about anything other than finding excuses to drink too much, eat too much, not work, and generally behave like not an adult. But nobody actually thinks Cinco de Mayo is symbolic of bottomless margaritas. Not having a full appreciation or understanding of the origins of any given holiday sure as fuck isn't exclusive to holidays that celebrate other cultures. How many young Americans who get fucked up and burn things down on the 4th of July truly understand the events leading up to the US gaining its independence? I don't know, but I'm confident that the answer is a number low enough to be depressing as fuck, and I think you'd agree. We fat Americans have a good habit of being superior to all other nations without room to debate, and dissenting comments will be blocked, but we also have a nasty habit of not knowing our own history. Comfort tends to foster complacency, and complacent people tend to not want to think about suffering, which is basically what all of human history is about, suffering.
Misconception number 2. Cinco de Mayo is a huge holiday in Mexico.
I don't care what they do, I just want them to turn their radios down.
In Mexico, it's just a regular day. Festivities for the day only occur in Puebla, the town where the day's historic victory occurred. But that's about it. Just like neon nacho cheese from a machine, it's an American invention. Ooh, cheese.
This is what a comedian is now. This! She's on fucking Comedy Central, the same network that gave us South Park. Murder me!
It wasn't until the 1960s Chicano movement, which prioritized Mexican-American empowerment, that Cinco de Mayo gained momentum as a holiday of ethnic pride. But by the 1980s, alcohol companies started to catch on to Cinco de Mayo as an opportunity to market Mexican beer and alcohol brands, which is pretty much how non-Mexican Americans got the beautiful tradition of wearing stereotypical sombreros and drinking far too much tequila.
Right, so they weren't making use of it, so we helped them out by making smart capitalistic choices and using great marketing to get people to spend money celebrating and appreciating Mexican culture and having a grand old time. Stupid racist capitalism benefiting everyone and bringing people together.
Which brings us to, well, I'll let my friend Kat tell you.
Well, you know, you stare at Franny long enough and this one's a 10.
Misconception number 3. It's okay to wear a sombrero.
That's not what misconception means. You just dropped down to a 6. Here's what a misconception sounds like. Every Mexican thinks it's not okay to wear a sombrero. This is what an opinion sounds like.
It's okay to wear a sombrero.
So the 3 misconceptions they cover in this video is 1. Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day. 2. Cinco de Mayo is huge in Mexico. And 3. The word misconception is specific to my belief system.
If you're not Mexican, I'd steer clear of wearing a sombrero, or a fake mustache, or a poncho for that matter. Basically, if you can buy it at a party supply store, forget about it.
You know, as much as I'd like party supply stores to go out of business, you're being a cunt.
And yes, non-Mexican Latinos like myself can be guilty of this too. Bet you thought I was Mexican, didn't ya?
Yep. Black lady uses token Hispanic woman to lecture us about having fun whilst acknowledging Mexican traditions, and I thought she was Mexican. What a racist. I guess hating Mexican food makes you racist too. I also hate their loud music. I think their language is broken and backwards, and I genuinely despise most of their customs and traditions. So I guess I'm fucking racist, right? Oh, let me guess. The fact that I think the white race is superior also makes me
A satirical parody.
We're not a monolithic group. Just because you're Latino doesn't mean you get a pass to join in on the exploitation.
So what you're saying is that being an actual Mexican does give you a pass to join in on the exploitation. So it's totally cool when people exploit their own culture for profit. But what if a Mexican wants to exploit his own culture by selling sombreros to white people who shouldn't be wearing them because it might offend some thin-skinned pussy somewhere? What about them? I guess those particular Mexicans should go out of business, right? For the greater good, right? I don't know, sounds like this train of thought might actually hurt more people than it would spare feelings.
It's pretty crappy to turn a marginalized culture into a costume. So many fashion choices. Just don't pick the one.
You mean like wearing too much makeup and hooped earrings?
By celebrating Cinco de Mayo without any context to its significance, we're making a mockery out of it.
So when it's Christmas time, I'm sure you don't X out the first part of the word and you gather with your family to celebrate the birth of Christ, correct? Is this not the same thing? Too many white people for that to be the same thing? You are appropriating Christian culture.
But if you are gonna eat a taco or drink a margarita, why not actually enjoy it while supporting a Mexican-American owned business?
Because Taco Bell is cheaper. Anyway, I'm done with this, but before I go, I just want to wish my dear mother a happy birthday. In my version of reality, she's my biggest fan and very proud of me, and she thinks I'm special. Happy birthday, Mom. Crazy to think you finally made it to the big 4-0. No, I know you're old. But really, not killing me in the womb may have been the biggest mistake of your life, and even though I resent you more and more each day for forcing me to endure the unrelenting cruelty of this cold and uncaring world, this is your day, and I hope it's a gosh darn great one. And I'm gonna need a little bit of money. I wouldn't bother calling, I won't answer, but I linked the payment methods in the description. You can go ahead and head over to my PayPal or my Patreon. Remember to hit the like button, that's the little thumbs up thingy. Love you, Mom. Take care now.